But really, my biggest gripe about Zelda games has been the fact that they have been too easy. Like, it just feels kind of boring to me a lot of the time. Like, this doesn't feel boring because it's like you're just on your toes.
Yeah, it's really hard with a series like Zelda because we've played them our entire lives. So, like, the core mechanics are always there, right?
Yeah.
And, like, as game publishers and creators, and they're always trying to figure out what to change up and what to keep the same to keep people interested, but it still feels nostalgic. And it's like a very healthy mix of how to have to put that out. And I still need to finish Tears of the Kingdom. I got into a very grindy, just exploration phase, and then I just fell off somehow. And
yeah,
I mean, at this point, I can just wait for them to remaster it for the Switch too. Just get in.
Yeah, what do you think about the
pay
whole
the extra $30 and go back in?
So you seem more okay with like the Nintendo pricing than a lot of people. Like, are you like where are you kind of in that opinion?
Oh, for the system, it makes sense. I think so, absolutely. It's like people are... You can't say you want to get into competition, like graphics-wise and performance-wise, with like a PlayStation or an Xbox as far as hardware goes, and then have complaints when they have to like put more expensive hardware into the system to do that, right? And I don't really think a lot of people are upset about the $450 with the price that was dropped at the Nintendo Direct. I think where people are upset is like the price for the games are just going up, and it kind of starts the precedent for the new era for all these different publishers to put out more expensive games, right? So it's like,
yeah,
and there's a discrepancy between already with where the new Donkey Kong game that's coming out is going to be like $70, but the Mario Kart game is going to be $80 for digital and $90 for it was 80 for physical and 90 for digital, or vice versa. Flip it.
Something like
and
that.
It's just like it's just gonna be all over the place. But I could easily see like the next GTA or something being like $110, $120 or something, just based on what Nintendo started.
Yeah, and I mean, I could see both sides of the coin. Like, you know, games like developers are kind of like chronically underpaid. They do a lot of work. It takes, you know, something like Grand Theft Auto takes years and years and years to make, and like they're committing a lot of resources to it. So in a sense, they have to like, you know, get that investment back. But in turn, they're kind of like betraying their fan base, and not everybody can really afford that much game. But at the same time, you're getting, you know, potentially 1,000 hours of gameplay out of a game, you know, like you're getting a lot out of it. So like, I don't know. I mean, is it not worth the money? Like, I think the Nintendo's always been worth the money, but I think what is kind of unfair historically is like they never lower their prices. Like they never give it any sort of break, even with their really old games.
Well, that's how they set their value, right? And you can say fair with their pricing to an extent, but I've seen plenty of games that Nintendo sanctioned and put out on the Switch where it was just like really? Like, I don't know, the whoever took over Harvest Moon series, and they're calling it Harvest Moon, those games just seem so underthought. It's like they got the core mechanics in, and then they just made this giant ass world for you to get into, but you can't really like, it just gets really grindy and repetitious, and you just start to lose interest in the game because it's the same shit over and over, right?
Yeah.
But they're still gonna sell it as like the same price as one of their major title IPs. Like, I don't think so. So it's like the matter of the fact where it's like for a title like Metroid Prime or Zelda or Mario, whatever they're doing for the next follow-up for Mario Odyssey, those are the games I'm absolutely fine with paying the top for. But when you do that, other people are going to be like, oh, that's just the price of all games now. So there's a big difference in and that comes down to just studios too, right? Like, Larian Studios put out Baldur's Gate 3, and that game is just fantastic out the gate. It's not broken when you get it. It's just, it is what it is. They said they weren't going to do anything to it, but they ended up adding stuff to it just because it became such a renowned game in the community of gamers that it was just, they had to keep adding to it, and people are modding it like crazy, and everyone wants that to be the direction of where quality goes for a game. It was like really refreshing to pick up a game that was just done from day one, and it was just like, you know what? we'll add to it. Yeah, we'll let you mod it out and do what you need to do. But it wasn't broken, and that's what was really nice to see.
Yeah, see, I think that's a good expectation, the basic expectation for gamers to have. Like, the game shouldn't be broken on launch, like Cyberpunk or something, you know? Like, that's a reasonable expectation. But also, if you expect the developers to add new features to the game and develop it more and, you know, maybe fix bugs, like, it costs money, and it's like, you know, they shouldn't charge you an arm and a leg, but I mean, software is just developed differently than it used to be, and you can patch things and you can change things, and it's a continuous effort rather than a one and done, you know, for better or worse.
Yeah, I think there's just such a massive push to get titles out quickly, and they're just losing their polish that they need to have.
Yeah.
Like I just started playing through No Man's Sky, and that was a game that had huge controversy when it dropped because it was overpromised on a lot, and it ended up not being what everybody was expecting. And that was like, what, back in 2016 or so, 2018? And now, at this point today, they've dropped several updates to that game, and it's like, now it's fantastic to play.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it was when it came out several years ago. I just got in now, and it's a blast. But that's like the story of a company releasing a game, getting enough revenue from it out the get-go, and they're like, okay, now we can dedicate time to making this what it should be, which in my opinion is backwards, right? It should be put out, and it is what it is. And I appreciate the games that are doing all like the early releasing and early access and stuff. Like, I'm a huge Satisfactory player and fan, and I love pretty much everything that Coffee Stain Studios is putting out. But at the end of the day, you know, you want your game finished and done, and then move on from there, and then build it out. So
yeah,
but it was kind of fun to be part of that community, and you know, be able to put in feedback on the game, and you're like a part of the build almost at that point as the community, and you're testing it with everybody, and you can opt in or out of the experimental patches, and there's something to be said for that. But Cyberpunk is kind of like what I go to now. Is like, what a awful experience for everybody who just bought in on a promise.
Oh yeah, that's a classic one.
Just downloaded a toilet, which is bad.
I heard somebody modded it so you could have sex with Keanu Reeves in Cyberpunk.
Oh, nice. That's not in the game already?
Yeah, I mean, it should have been.
Would be down.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, I don't know. He might have charged a little extra had he known he was fuckable.
No, dude,
perhaps.
He's so generous. He'd be like, take my body.
Yeah, he is a great guy. Yeah, you know, maybe he would have been cool.
Yeah.
Take
I mean,
my
it's
body.
not off his back, right? It's just his digital self in the future.
Does set an interesting precedent, I will say, but oh my god.
All right, this is your run.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling really good about this one.
I'm over here bitching about the gaming industry and not knowing shit while you're trying to get through this Watchdog.
Oh god.